So a bit of a rumor mill thing going on today. So I guess this isn't really news. It's more of just like offhand rumors. So let's go ahead and run that intro again. Can we run that again? So Disney is apparently unhappy with the story that is being told at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And as you may recall, the sequel trilogy, hasn't gotten the best reception from Star Wars fans and movie fans alike. And so the rumor here today that we're going to talk about is that Disney wants to try something new with Galaxy's Edge and capitalize on a more popular Star Wars story, The Mandalorian. You see, as it stands currently, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge takes place canonically within the Star Wars universe between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, episodes 8 and 9. But like I said, as you all know, the sequels weren't really received the best, but there was one recent Star Wars edition that was, and that's the Disney Plus original, The Mandalorian. The rumor is this: Disney is looking to scrap the timeline of Batuu of Galaxy's Edge. Instead of taking place at a certain time between two movies, instead it'll take place whenever they want it to. Galaxy's Edge takes place between episodes 8 and 9. This is why you can't meet characters like Darth Maul or Darth Vader, Boba Fett. Heck, even Luke Skywalker is absent because, spoiler alert for The Last Jedi, he's not around anymore. And it seems with Galaxy's Edge, Disney has put all their eggs in the sequel basket, and obviously that basket didn't really turn out very well. Meanwhile, with The Mandalorian, the consensus is pretty unanimous. Everybody loves Din Djarin in The Mandalorian, Baby Yoda, Grogu. Everybody seems to agree that The Mandalorian is the best Star Wars content produced in years. Not counting the LEGO Star Wars Holiday Special, of course. And so Disney is seemingly trying to throw out the timeline for Galaxy's Edge and make it more of just a general Star Wars area. That way you'd be able to meet and interact with characters from The Mandalorian and other Star Wars movies. For walk-around streetmosphere, I think it's very easy to kind of do that. Just pull Kylo Ren out for 2 hours a day and put Darth Vader on instead. A massive problem arises though when you ride the rides in the land, and also when you go to the First Order supply gift shop, but that's something they could probably easily change. The attractions, and much more specifically Rise of the Resistance, borrow so much from the films and take place at very certain times. If Galaxy's Edge just became this place that existed at all Star Wars times at the same time, it would sort of throw off the balance and storytelling of the ride. I mean, it's not like they could pull out the Kylo Ren animatronic and replace it with an Emperor Palpatine or a Darth Vader animatronic just on a whim at certain points of the day. You reach a point where they sort of have to Imagineer Rise of the Resistance, maybe rename it completely to make it a sort of more generic, hey, let's escape this Star Destroyer sort of ride with no super important story beats having to pertain to any of the three eras of Star Wars. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, on the other hand, is a lot easier to change, and this is one of the few advantages of having a screen-based ride. You can just change the movie. And even with the way the ride exists right now, with a few tiny tweaks, you can kind of place that story anywhere within the Star Wars canon. It is, after all, a sort of generic smuggling job, and if they wanted to add The Mandalorian in there, I don't see why they couldn't. It'd be pretty easy. But honestly, this all just boils down to the question if Disney is willing to roll back the creative choices they made for Galaxy's Edge. Are they willing to admit that what they did may or may not have worked out very well and are willing to change it? And are they willing to spend the money to make these changes? There's also another part of this rumor that includes adding new missions to Smuggler's Run by 2024, so maybe it's not as easy as I think. We all have to keep in mind, though, that this is a rumor, although I have never seen a rumor more heavily propagated about the Disney parks than this one and the new Epcot refurbishment that was coming for a long time. But that one was kind of easy to predict, let's be real. But I'm gonna ask you guys two questions here. What would you like to see done with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? Do you think it should stay the way it is in a certain time at a certain place, canon to the Star Wars story? Or would you like to see it just outside of Star Wars canon completely? That way you can have characters like Yoda, characters like Obi-Wan, Darth Vader walking around Batuu. And do you think Disney would do this? Are they willing to bow to fan scrutiny and fan demand and just change the land at a fundamental level? Are they willing to put the money into it? And what would they change about the rides? Would they change the name of Rise of the Resistance? Or would they just keep it the same because, it's all three time eras of Star Wars sort of mashed together? Galaxy's Edge wasn't even received very negatively. It was a very strong achievement for theme parks. That's sort of agreed upon, so It's a very sort of weird situation Disney finds themselves in. The sequel series not being very well received, but the land being well received, but them being so tightly interwoven. I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to wait and see. No one really knows the future of Galaxy's Edge, or heck, Disneyland in general at this point. But rest assured that when Disney makes any sort of announcement, that I will be there to cover the news, because this is DisNews. Well, it's Diz Rumors. But dang it, I'm gonna be there to give my opinion on it. Everybody, thank you so much for watching DisNews, and I'll see you all in the next broadcast. Signing off.